Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So my name is Muhammad Faisal. I'm the founder of Al-Nafi. Today's session is very important. It is regarding the global talent shortage and unemployment that is spreading around the world. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we would like to show you that all of those things and how, uh, specifically people from around the world, specifically from African countries. And just prior to starting of the session, I've got a few things which I'm going to mention. But the goal and the idea is how can we spread education throughout the world, right? So I'm going to present like a brief presentation. I will try to make it, keep it as brief as possible. But today I also have with me Hamad Siddiqui. Hamad Siddiqui is a global LinkedIn coach. I'm going to ask you, Hamad Bhai, if you can please explain yourself before we start the presentation, please.
Jazakallah. My name is Hamad Siddiqui. I am based in Canada, and I am a global LinkedIn coach. And I coach my clients and my students how they can leverage the power of LinkedIn to find job opportunities, being freelancers or work as consultants in the global market. So you can be anywhere at any given time, and you should be able to find those and tap into those opportunities using techniques that are available in various courses already Al-Nafi is offering, and I'm really delighted to be here. The world is phenomenal. It's 820 million people on LinkedIn, but those who understand how LinkedIn can help will win. Those who understand how cybersecurity and all these emerging technologies can help will win. And this is the ambition. Al-Nafi is there with an ambition, and I'm with Al-Nafi because of that ambition. And this is who I am, and we'll continue the discussion.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. So let's start the session. I'm going to present my presentation today. The presentation focuses on, on what is the key education that you all have to receive or achieve, the skills that you need to achieve to be able to be successful in today's world, right? So our motto at Al-Nafi is let's educate the world to make it a better place, because education is one of the things that in Islam, the first verses of the Quran was read in the name of your Lord, in your Lord, right? Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. So this is one of the inspirations that we have as Muslims. And the whole idea of starting the project was to make sure, the founders of Al-Nafi, they hail from MIT, from Stanford, from Princeton, from Georgia, from Brunel, from Royal Holloway, London Metropolitan, and various other top universities. This is me, Muhammad Faisal. I'm the founder and the CIO. I started this venture back in 2018, and now we have more than 300,000 enrollments whatsoever. And I'm going to explain all of those things, inshallah. Tariq Mahmood is our CEO. Ishraq Ansari is our CFO. He hails from basic Cambridge. Tariq Mahmood, our global CEO. He has more than 40 years of experience within as a CISO, as a C-level executive. Sayyid Wajhat Ali, an ex-grad, an alumni of Loughborough University in UK, and he has been working with us for quite some time. Dr. Asad Zaman, founder of Al-Nafi Social Sciences and Economics, camp. He went to Stanford and MIT more than 25 years ago, 35, I would say, years ago, in 1975 something. And, a wealth of experience, has been teaching at Wharton and all the top universities, you name it, he has been there. So we started this, this whole thing, this whole project with one thing in mind: how we can make education economical. Now, throughout the session, you can visit stream.alnafi.com. This is the website. Register and join the room and ask questions there, as we will answer. This is a multilingual room, so whatever language you can speak, as long as it is picked up by IBM Watson or by Google, we will be able to translate that into English, and we'll be able to answer you back in English, but you will see it in your own language. So that's one thing that we are using artificial intelligence to teach. So what do? We teach the job role from day one. This is what we're doing. We are teaching people the job description. Like in the universities, the school role is, in the society, the school responsibility is to prepare the kids professionally, and then also prepare them basically for, for professionally as well, right? So uh, prepare them for the college and for the professional life, right? The college role is to prepare them for the university and basically professionally as well. And then the university role is to prepare them professionally and personally, so that they can, when they go into the society, when they are performing in the society, they can become citizens who are basically creating solutions for benefiting the humanity. However, the schools, the colleges, and the universities, they are all failing in this job, right? The schools, they are not preparing kids for professionally or for colleges or personally, and the colleges are the same story, and the universities are the same story. The missing element in all of these equation is basically education. If these places, if they're able to provide the education which is required, if these institutes are able to teach them the key skills which are required globally in the world, then we should not be facing the global crunch that we're facing right now, right? So what we do is we teach the job role from day one, right? And that is why we have designed this whole program known as Career Advancement Track. This track emphasizes on all the key aspects. It emphasizes on coaching, on teaching, on knowledge, on development, on learning, on getting experience, so that you have this on your resume, and getting the skills so that you are able to perform within the industry, right? Part of this program, what we have done is, like, we have infused some of the key aspects, as I call it, the CODs. C means cyber defense, O means offensive security, D means digital forensics and threat hunting, and S means SCADA, ICS, operations and security, right? One of the things that we're doing also is, like, we are teaching data science in R and data science in Python, system operations and cloud engineering. Ghanima Labs is one of the things that we have, through which we provide you all the hands-on knowledge and experience you need to be able to apply for any of these roles. And I'm going to talk about those throughout the presentation. eMath is the emerging technologies mathematics. And I'm going to talk about what is emerging technologies. LinkedIn, and this is why we have Hamad Siddiqui today here, the global LinkedIn coach. And then IELTS for UK and EU universities. Now, if you are somewhere like in G20 countries or around the world, right? And if you want to go to have this mobility, this factor which allows you to go out of your country, then you need to apply. And any of these G20 countries, like in Europe and UK, or in USA or North America, like USA or Canada, whatever the places are, you need to go and for IELTS, which is like an education exam for your English, right? They ask you different questions. You have to go through a rigorous training in terms of making sure that you're able to score in reading, writing. So we provide you that as well as part of this course. So there are more than 800 hours of training, development, and learning, expanding your horizon, so on and so forth, right? So this is what Career Advancement Track is. No matter what you do, no matter whatever you're from, I'm going to emphasize on those aspects as well. You can study Career Advancement Track. In short, we call it CAT, right? Now, who can study CAT? If you are a parent of of kids ranging from class 8 till class 10, or if they're in college, or if you are in university or they are in university, or if you're a professional, you can study the Career Advancement Track and build up your career, like in cyber defense or offensive pen testing, or working in digital forensics and threat hunting, ICS, industrial control systems, or SCADA. You can work in data science, artificial intelligence, blockchain, big data, DevOps, IT audit, and the list goes on. I'm going to talk about those as well. All of these people, and we have people from all of these different aspects of life and age sector, they are studying and they have been successful with the Career Advancement Track, right? So what is CAT? CAT opens global opportunities for you. It opens global opportunities for you around the world. Based on CAT, if you study CAT, if you spend 6 months, people have been able to secure jobs in 6 to 9 months' time. Uh, People have been able to secure jobs in 3 months' time at firms like prestigious firms like PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, EY, and I'm going to BMW, Abbott, pharmaceutical, Microsoft, Google, Cisco. I'm going to mention all of those things. These are our success stories, right? So after CAT, once you study CAT, you can go further and study in data science advancement track or big data advancement track, because CAT is the foundation. That is the foundational element which establishes the key foundational block of knowledge that you need to be able to utilize all of these different sciences, right? So AI, IT GRC, which is IT governance, risk and compliance, SysOps, IoT and IIoT, which is the Internet of Things and the industrial Internet of Things, blockchain, which comes into public and private blockchain, DevSecOps, DevOps, quantum technologies, orbital satellite advancement track. This is coming in 2023, and AR and VR advancement track. You can, once you study CAT, you can encapsulate any of these industry by utilizing these different advancement tracks, right? We are opening our own university as well in UK in 2023, February 2023, September, something that I'm going to talk about, right? So CAT also offers you an opportunity to study at these universities, at our university, without any problems, like regardless of whatever your base qualification is, if you have done bachelor's or master's, or if you have done basically sciences or commerce or whatever your background is, if you study career advancement track, you will be able to take admission with us or with any other British university, right? Now, what do we teach in CAT, right? There's another thing that we do is people or a specific sector, age group, which have done their foundation, they can take admission at our university at the foundation year. Like, so what is the foundation year? So if you have done your grade 10, or if you've done your O levels, right, which is the Cambridge qualification or equivalent, right, you can apply. You don't have to go for high school. You can apply for a foundation year in UK to study at our college or any other college in UK or European Union, right, depending on where you want to apply for. We also have another route. If you have, if you have a certain age and you have certain years of experience, then, and if you want to pass your CSSP, or if you want to pass your CSSP or have passed your CSSP as an associate or whatever, or as a full certification, then if you complete your CAT with career advancement track with any of these advancement tracks, additional, we will give you admission basically in a master's degree program in UK. So why UK? I'm going to emphasize on that. But before we do that, I want to emphasize on one of the things, which is basically what do we cover? Now, within the CAT program, our focus is basically teaching you covering all the key industries. Now, Ghanima is one of the things that we offer in CAT, right? Ghanima Labs. Now, what does Ghanima really covers? Ghanima is an Arabic word, which means bounty, right? Or bounties. The spoils of war, as you can say. Our focus is basically all these key sectors or industry. Now, no one isn't included here. Like I would say, no one is basically, I would say, deducted from this industry. These university sectors focuses on the global industrialization of all the sectors. Like if you talk about transport or education or food or chemical or agriculture, defense, telco, any of these sectors, they require a specific set of standards that need to be followed. And that is exactly what we're teaching you. When we say we teach you the job role from day one, this is what we're teaching you, the job role from day one, by teaching you all the key standards through which you can apply and work within these industries, right? So this is what we're doing. So as I said, in February 2023 or September 2023, we will know by the mid of this year that we are opening our own college, our own university in UK in partnership with different universities, right? Why UK? Right now, UK needs more than 600, UK is issuing more than 650,000 visas to students this year. And they also, whoever completes the degree, bachelor's or master's degree, they will be able to apply for a 2 years work permit. right? Now, degree programs will not enable you to be able to apply for the jobs in UK or in EU or any of these places. However, these programs that we're teaching you, the CAT, infused within the degree program, will give you an opportunity to work within these industries, within these globalized nations, so on and so forth, right? If you don't want to apply for us, if you know our fees is £12,000 per annum, but if you want to apply for any other place, you can certainly do that. We do provide assistance in terms of applying for those qualifications, for those visa, going through that visa process, so on and so forth. Now, one of the things that we do, which is very important to know, is in 2023, in 2021, in UK, the UK government, these are the stats from their website, right, from the Home Office website. In 2021, the UK government issued more than 434,000 visas globally. If you look at the major portion of the countries who got the most visa, it was China, almost success rate with 99.74%, India 91%, Nigeria 95%, right? The African countries, right? Pakistan 96, Hong Kong, United States, Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia. You can see out of these, all of these countries are the ones which are providing global talent pipeline around the world to all these organizations, right? So what we're trying to emphasize here is that there are global jobs available throughout the world. If you study these things, you will be able to apply not only at our college, but any other college, regardless of whatever qualification you have done so far. If you've done bachelor's or master's in arts, in commerce, in business and accounting, in engineering, like in applied sciences like physics, chemistry, or biology, in any of these sciences, with the exception of medical degree, whoever is becoming a doctor, that's the only sector that we don't touch, right? Or you can essentially touch it from from other indirect angles, but indirectly, we're not doing it through our advancement tracks. You can go into any of these countries without any problems, right? So our focus is on G20. This is where around 75 to 80% of the global GDP resides within the G20 countries, right? So these tracks gives you the global mobility. These tracks gives you the national mobility, right? These tracks gives you the remote mobility. So if you are in, if you don't want to go to UK or European Union or to Baltic states or to North America, whatever the case is, you can still work remotely for these companies, for these, for the organizations who have been established in these countries remotely. If you want to go to these countries and work from there, you can do that as well, because these advancement tracks gives you the global mobility. As I said, our students are right now working in the FTSE, the Fortune 500 organizations, right, around the world right now. They're working in Canada, in USA, in UK, in Sweden, in Denmark, in Iceland, in Finland, you name it, right? So in the Middle East, these are the students who migrated from their own countries, right? From Pakistan, from India, from Bangladesh, from African countries, from Middle East and all these places. And they are now working in the G20 nations with global mobility, so on and so forth, right? So just today, I was preparing one of my students, basically a full interview preparation as it relates to, his final interview at the PwC, right? PricewaterhouseCoopers. So what do you get from the CAT subscription? So the subscription is based on monthly, quarterly, 6 monthly, and annually, basically, models. If you pay monthly, you get monthly access, right? If you pay quarterly, you get quarterly access. But access to the labs, access to most of the stuff is given on the 6th month. So if you pay for 6 months, or if you or in your second quarter, you will get access to the labs and all those kinds of critical things that you really need to get hands-on, right? So we give you access to the courses given as per your subscription. After the 70% of the completion of the courses, we do the resume development, right? We develop your resume. We give you internship experience letter in respective tracks. You're studying, because we're teaching different tracks. We're teaching you blockchain. We're teaching you DevOps, SecOps, all of these things. And I'm going to mention some of these things when I'm having session with Hamas Siddiqui, because he's going to show you all the critical jobs available in these sectors, right? We give you interview preparation, guidance for job hunting as we do that, guidance for the visa interview, if you want to go from these countries over to UK or to Europe or whatever the case is, right? We do that. The other thing we do is basically admission guidance and assistance in Al-Nafi College of Emerging Sciences to be open in 2023 February or 2023 September, because we're going through that accreditation process, right? So we will know by the mid of this year, where are we landing, right? Admission guidance and assistance in EU and UK universities, if you want to apply anywhere. Many of our students are right now studying in UK and in EU, excuse me, in some of the top universities. We also give you more than 200 hours of IELTS preparation. So there are classes happening 5 days a week, but from this week onwards, there'll be classes happening 7 days a week, right? So almost like 2 hours every day, right? So this is what we are preparing you for, so that you are fully prepared in terms of acing your interviews and basically your IELTS as well. Annual fee subscribers also get additional benefits. You don't have to buy expensive computers to run the labs, because we are providing you containers, which are virtual machines within the on a 3 hours on a daily basis. You can connect to the labs and you can practice all the things that you want to practice. The number of servers we have is more than 100 plus right now throughout the labs. But in the next 3 months, this number will grow to more than 2,000, the way that we are expanding our network, right? We provide you interview preparation to all this additional, as an additional benefit to the annual fee subscribers. CV preparation is giving, job search and advice is given, admission in any college or any university in any country, we do that. On the job consultation for advancement track students for job related questions on what to do for the first 30, 60, 90 days and getting guidance and settling in any country. So we do that. This program is available, and all the advancement tracks are available in all the major languages spoken around the world. So right now, you can study in Urdu, Hindi, English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Arabic, Bengali, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Mandarin, Chinese, Russian, and Turkish. In Q4, we will also add some of the other languages. And actually, we are increasing this number. Pretty much all the global languages we will be covering, right? Because our goal is, as I said, education benefits all, right? This is a global platform, and we intend to educate everyone within these emerging technologies so that they can work within their own countries, or if they want to have the global mobility, they can do so, right? What kind of jobs are we focusing on? So we are focused on all the, as per the World Economic Forum report, more than 100 million jobs are available in just the 5 sectors, and I'm going to mention those. But overall, there will be more than 500 million jobs upcoming, being created within these sectors, right? Which sectors? These are the key sectors that I'm talking about, right? So those are data science, big data, DevOps, cyber defense, offensive security, digital forensics, SCADA, blockchain. 10% of the global GDP will be locked into blockchain. IoT, SysOps, DevSecOps, quantum, orbital satellite, AR and VR, so many things, right? These are the technologies that we are focusing on. And our goal is to make sure that we make education so economical, so easy for everyone that they can achieve it, right? And this is why our advancement tracks are addressing all these 20 areas which are increasing in demand. And these are the areas which are decreasing in demand, right? If you cannot pay for the program, you can apply for Qard al-Hasana. In Islam, we call this, in Islam, interest is not allowed. It is forbidden, right? So we don't teach, we are not allowed to accept interest or pay anything on interest, right? So that is why what we do is we teach you interest-free. So if you go to alnafi.com/QARD, no matter wherever you are from, you can apply for this loan, right? These are the terms and conditions you can read. You can apply, and you can and you'll be given access to the full career advancement track, right? No matter what religion you belong to, no matter what language you speak, as long as the languages that we are offering you the tracks in, you can go there and you can study these courses, right? So this is available. We do offer on Qard al-Hasana interest-free loan, we do offer to students on a dripping basis. This will not be given on a quarterly or on a half-yearly basis. But however, many of our students on Qard al-Hasana on interest-free loan who are studying, they have been able to apply for jobs after 3 months, and they've been able to secure those jobs, right? So if a student pays 60% of the full fee, CAT fee, they can get access to all the courses in Ghanima Labs, right? But this is only for Qard al-Hasana student. So if you are Qard al-Hasana student, you can apply for those things. Now, to ask a question, please go to stream.alnafi.com. There we will be taking questions and we'll be answering them back. If anyone who wants to partner with us and bring this program in their schools, colleges, universities, public and private organizations, please feel free to email it to us. We are more than happy to talk to them and basically, guide them how they can do so. I'm now open to questions. However, before we do that, Hamad Bhai, can you please highlight some of the things, how people can study, after studying these tracks, what people can use and how people can use LinkedIn, which is the global job hunting platform, and how they can go and find the jobs that they're looking for, right? How they can do so. Please, can you guide us a little bit, please?
Jazakallah, Faisal. So Hamad Siddiqui, again, what Faisal just described is such an interesting scenario, and because I coach and I teach people how to excel in their careers, 3 internal factors are always very important to consider. One is knowledge, the other one is skill, and third one is your experience. So what you're getting in CAT is all these 3 things, 3 ingredients. You're getting experience, you're getting knowledge, and you're getting education. So if you combine everything and you have everything available, the stock of things that are required for your job search, the next thing comes in: how do you do job search? Where are these opportunities? And that's where your ability to network and your ability to project yourself will play a role. And there is no other platform better than LinkedIn to do that, because frankly speaking, that is the only professional platform out there. So while Faisal Bhai was giving his presentation, I was just like doing a very quick search, and this is like very random search, just to kind of help you think through. So if we just pick one thing, which is cybersecurity, entry-level job, and I'm not like looking at a very senior level job, just entry-level job in the United Kingdom. As you can see, there are currently 2,881 jobs available only on LinkedIn. Now, a lot of these jobs are not posted on LinkedIn because there are other next level opportunities, but this is the foundation. If we start from here, right now in today's day, 2,000 or close to 3,000 jobs. And if we see Germany, almost 2,270 jobs right now. And if you see, if you go to US, there are like millions of jobs as mentioned. So globally, the demand is phenomenal, regardless of wherever you are sitting. I mean, if you are in United Arab Emirates, for instance, which is a much smaller market, entry-level position 38 right now available. And you can look at like KPMG, and Faisal spoke about cybersecurity strategy and governance, staff research, sales, cybersecurity engineer. Now, once you have the skills and the education and the experience which you will get from CAT, the next challenge that Al-Nafi itself is offering you to deal with is the opportunity to connect with these opportunities out there. And with with the coaching that you get, like from right from the very first day, will build your capability, your confidence level, your education level, and your experience skill to deal with the interview. But to reach to the interview, the platform that you will use is going to be LinkedIn. And in CAT itself, you have LinkedIn's course embedded. So when you do the CAT, you will have LinkedIn available, and also a short course on interview preparation. And of course, when you have the team available, once you've done the course, when you go for your actual job hunting, you will get full support in terms of your resume writing, in terms of your interview coaching, and combining all these things, the success becomes much more easier. Those people who, those university students who go in, just get out of their universities, they really get surprises because they really do not know exactly how the real life situations work in cybersecurity in all these areas. And this is the clear edge that Al-Nafi courses have, that you are actually working on all these three aspects that are required for anyone to be successful in the job search.
So let me share something that you were sharing about, right? So I'm going to share something like this. This is, you were showing LinkedIn, which is where like all the recruiters and the direct hiring managers sit, right? But you can also use, one of the other things that you can use is just to see how the market is, because many of my students, even the one who just recently, this is our fifth student who is going to PwC, right? He said like he was approached by PwC directly from the social, from the LinkedIn, from the profile that he created on the, in Germany, so on. And he's a student, right? As I was, before this talk started, I was talking about one of the key factors, like the global, I would say the global workforce, right? Where does it comes from? Someone asked me why, I was in a discussion with one of my, back in the States, I was in a discussion with one of my peers, and he's saying like, he was saying like, I asked him, if you look around in this company, McKay, what do you see? He said like, I only see, a metropolitan place where like people from different countries are working. I said, no, that is right. You're right. But there's another thing. One of the key things that you're missing is that all of these people, they hail from Middle East, from Africa, from the African continent, from Asia, from all these different places, right? And if you pay attention, this is where the whole talent pipeline is coming from. So even I myself, I hail from Pakistan, right? So that's the key thing that we have to understand. So I'm going to share something with you that, which is very important, is that, for example, if we go to UK and we mention, and there you're going there and you have studied, CAD program with blockchain, so the blockchain advancement track. In blockchain, there are more than 1,853 jobs, right? If you type in DevOps, this is another advancement track that we teach. There are more than 9,000 jobs, right? Cloud engineer, entry level, AWS training provider. They're providing you the training. Now, let me show you our part of the training, that what we are teaching, right? So that you can really appreciate what exactly you're learning. So the DevOps track that we are teaching you, it covers all the things, right? It covers CAT, because CAT is the foundation, is the first step in every program you do. And then we cover you all the different steps. The third step is all the details, the infrastructure management, the role of automation, infrastructure as a code, stuff like that. And then we teach you all the, open source tools. And then we go over and cover all the labs as it relates to the commercial tools. So when you go out there, you know how to work on AWS infrastructure as a code, or AWS microservices, or AWS code deploy, or in all of the full suite of their DevOps solutions. You will know. If you talk about the blockchain advancement track, this is such a big topic, right? This is where, like, as I said, 10% of the global GDP resides within the blockchain, right? So if you look at the public blockchain and the private blockchain, right? This is the public blockchain, which we have just recently released. This covers CAT as the foundation. because this is where like you'll be applying the public blockchain, right? And this is where we are covering every single thing: labs, interview preparation, just to make sure that you know how to work on the DeFi, on the NFT, or the ICOs, or basically smart contracts, or Ethereum, or dApps, on the Web 3.0, all of these key things. Every single thing is covered. And then we are also covering the cybersecurity aspects as well, right? So if you go, and the private blockchain is another advancement track that we are covering the full uh, methodology of how to create, private blockchain applications, right? And then we are covering the commercial tools as well. So after equipping yourself with all of these key skills, you can easily secure a good job within no time, right? So if I type in cybersecurity, right, you will see more than 2,528 jobs, right? And you can see that after studying for 1 year on a master's, or for 3 years on a bachelor's, you will be able to secure good work within no time. Actually, if you are able to complete your CAD with at least 2 of the advancement tracks, even if you're on a student visa, companies will sponsor you, as they've sponsored many of our students, right? So if you go to SCADA, that's another industry that we are covering. If you go to data science, right, that is another industry that we are covering, right? If you go to artificial intelligence, that is another industry that we are covering. So all of these emerging sciences, if you see cloud, right, cloud engineer, all of these key areas, we are covering more than 18,000, right? 18,000. So you can imagine there are tons and tons of jobs. What is not there is basically the talent, right? And as I said to you, that the talent comes from all these Asian countries, whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, whatever the case is. But you can see blockchain, right? You can see all the blockchain jobs in Nigeria. Like these are the jobs available in blockchain. The Linux that we teach you at the Linux administration, 137 jobs, right? In the data science, again, it's the same thing. If you want to work there, or if you want to get out of there, it's up to you. But we provide you all the key things through which you are fully prepared. If I try to search in Indeed USA and try to see, what kind of jobs are available, because most of these jobs, our students are right now, they're migrating from their own countries based on these advancement tracks, right? So we type in blockchain, more than 17,000 jobs available in US. They don't have the talent. There is a talent crunch going on right now. But if you study, you can secure these jobs, right? So if I type in cloud security, right? Again, you will see the same stuff. There are more than 38,000, almost 39,000 jobs available in cloud security, right? If you type in cybersecurity, right? Again, it's the same stuff, right? More than 59,000 jobs in the States, almost 60,000 jobs in cybersecurity. If you type in DevOps, right? 21,000 jobs, right? If you type in data science, right? Again, and what we're doing is 52,000 jobs. What we're doing is we are teaching you the job description from day one. We're teaching you how to work, what to do, what you need to do, what you need to follow. What will you do in the first 30, 60, and 90 days? How will you ace the interview? What kind of tools will you interact with? What kind of systems you will interact with? We're teaching you all of those key critical things. So now we will open the floor for some Q&A. Hamad Bhai, do you have any parting words before we start the Q&A?
See, the thing is that if we have the opportunities out there, we just have to capitalize on these opportunities. And the best investment anyone can make is in his or her own development, right? The world is too competitive. So we have to become more competitive, and these emerging technologies really providing great opportunity, because there is a market out there. There are millions of jobs available, and the human resource is available in countries that you mentioned, like, in Africa and in Asia. And, if these people, youngsters and not so youngsters, I would like to study blockchain, for instance, because I'm sort of getting that vibe that blockchain is going to really, and it is actually transforming the way businesses are done. So if we really want to be part of a momentum, we have to be part of an investment process in our own selves. And when we invest our own selves, the profit we will reap in a very short period of time. Particularly, the courses are so nicely blended with the ultimate objective of finding or landing into jobs, or maybe starting your own consultancy. So, I encourage everyone to join in, and the success will be, and their success is our success actually. So we want to be successful, so we will make sure that you are successful as students.
Jazakallah khair, Ahmad Bhai, that you joined with me today. I'm going to take some questions. So Jazakallah khair for your time. I'm going to invite you again in the next few days or so that we can plan something out and do another session as well, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay.
Okay. So I can take some questions right now. If anyone of you have any questions, they can. Please.
I mean, if you want, I can stay with you, but
if you want, please, yes, by all means. So if any of you have any questions, they can raise their hands. Again, this basically session is in English, so you have to ask a question in English, right? So just remember that. Okay, so Muhammad Azam Khan, yes, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Yes.
How are you, sir? Good.
Go ahead.
Sir, I want to ask regarding my career and regarding to join this emerging technologies. My basic educational background is from the art subject, as I already mentioned in your YouTube chat, that I have a master's in my international relations. And I also doing a part-time job, you can say. It's not a full-time job. Nowadays, I am in Qatar as a health and safety officer. I already done my international diploma certificate in health and safety from UK. So now I want to switch my career, and I want to join this field, like said, emerging technologies. So do I need any IT degree for this field, or without any IT degree, I can continue this field and I can step in this field? I was also, sorry, sir. I was also thinking to take admission into the IT degree, like Masters in Information Technology. There are one of the Pakistan University who is announcing its admissions. And I was thinking, and at the same time, I come across to your video. And for your information, I come from, from the Sir Zishanul Hassan Usmani. I often watch his videos, and I come to know about the Al-Nafi platform, and then I come across your videos. Then I think that I have to ask you this, that you can guide me better.
So let me highlight one of the key things is that even if you are hailing from arts or from business, just this morning, there was a guy who did his master's in physics, right? And now he has been offered a 6-figure salary in Pakistan, working for a company in Canada, based in Canada, and they just recently established their SOC back over there. So what I'm highlighting is that if you study and if you work hard, then you can certainly, I mean, this guy was stuck in his job for more than 8 years, right? And now he accepted that role, and now he's moving forward. He said, like, it's 3 times more than the salary than I was earning. So you can see the jump that he had, right? You only have 2 options. If you don't make either you can make a decision or you can move forward. The other option is wherever you are sitting, you just stay there and just watch what other people are doing. So in my view, at some point in time in your life, you have to take a leap of faith, right? You have to, if your gut says that this is what I need to do, the qualification is not going to matter. Even if you've done your bachelor's in arts or in management or in accounting, my students who have done their bachelor's in arts and management, accounting, and commerce and economics, they are now working as a data scientist. They are working in blockchain. They're working in different technology sectors, right? So it doesn't matter what you have studied. At the end of the day, around the world, these sciences will always remain there. There will always be physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology. What will enhance these industries will be the complementary and the supporting technologies, these emerging technologies like data science, like the cloud, the DevOps, the SecOps. how you can innovate faster, the blockchain, big data, artificial intelligence, all of these different areas. These are they are becoming the foundation, pillar blocks, I would say, around the world in terms of for all the innovation. One of the key things that you all have to understand is just like Europe right now have realized that because of the Ukrainian and the Russian conflict, they have now realized that they need to do something about their independence. They need to do something about what they should do in terms of being more energy independent, right? And one of the key areas that they have to work aggressively on is renewable energies, basically emerging technologies, the IoT, the IIoT, and all these kinds of things, right? So this is going to bring a huge influx of migrants towards these countries in the European Union, in the Baltic states, in UK, in North America. I mean, this is going to increase, global immigration. Now, the global immigration can only be fueled through education. The global immigration can only be fueled through education. There is no, people will keep on rising up their fences. But if you have the qualification, there is no fence for you. So the only difference, but here's the problem. The problem was around when I started this project, why did I start this project? The problem was, access to higher education is only for the privileged few. But if you make the education accessible, then, and there is no privilege like that, then people can secure education and they can move forward in their lives, right? They can change their lives. And this was one of the fundamental blocks of why, one of the fundamental blocks that we had was basically to start education project was to make sure that we make this education accessible. So now when you're working, when you're in UAE, you've done your arts, you could never imagine about getting this education. I mean, tell me, have you ever imagined like you will be getting this, that you will be able to change your life? All of these kids who have been working as physicists, as biologists, they're working in the industry, in automation and BMW and pharmaceutical companies and all these places. How come? How come? Explain it to me. The only reason was that they had access to this kind of quality education and hands-on skills, and they were able to get the reference letter from us that yes, they have done all of these things. This is what opens the door for you. So as I said, these courses gives you global mobility and local mobility and national mobility in terms of moving around across the aisle from one country to another country, so on and so forth, right? So I would say if you have this intention of studying and working hard, you can absolutely achieve it, inshallah.
Okay, thank you, sir. One more thing, the purpose.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, one more thing. The reason why I'm asking this question to you, because I am in the field in the health and safety environment. And at the time when I did my certification from UK, at that time it was okay. Now in this field, I'm seeing that a lot of engineers are coming in this field, and the future prerequisite for the applying for any job, they are demanding the certification plus engineer. So the scope for this job for me is now going for the end. And same thing, if I come into this emerging technologies in the upcoming days or in the future, would it be happen if this will happen, then I have to have the degree or certification from the IT background. Look, that's why I'm asking.
Degree, look, no, that's a good question. The degree is, I mean, I'm always an advocate of getting a degree. You should have some kind of degree because it opens doors for you, right? Yes. However, the problem is that degrees will get obsolete in the next 10, 15, 20 years, something like that. With the pace that the industry is changing, with the pace like all the sectors are changing and they're morphing and they're evolving so fast, the academia cannot, and they're already realizing this, the academia cannot move forward, with a model that they already have, which is like teaching them books and stuff like that. Look, the academia had this last, I would say, lifeline, utilizing this last lifeline of going from brick and mortar over to the model of edX and Coursera and stuff like that. And if they do not innovate further and they do not create these platforms where people can learn the job skills from day one, then that Coursera and edX, essentially they are presently useless. I mean, if what they're doing is, what they did was they're very smart. When I was in Stanford University, that back in the days in 2008, something like that, that's the time that when they were changing their model from going, and they were opening this platform of Coursera and edX, right? All they did was whatever they were teaching in the university from a brick and mortar, they took it to the online classroom, right? However, if you really see, at the back end, if they do not innovate themselves, if they do not evolve themselves into a platform where people can learn and they're able to train themselves for the future technologies, they will become obsolete. It might happen in 10 years' time. Because it will take time because it's a big industrial sector. However, the industries have realized this. They now know that the universities are not able to create the platform, the talent pool that we are looking for, right? So they have already realized this thing. You will see many jobs advertised in North America, in Europe, in UK, without the requirement for a degree, because they know, there are no degrees for this. Tell me, are there any degrees for DevOps or SecOps, right? All of these places that you will go for, you won't see the degrees because the technology is evolving and they're changing, and things are changing very fast, right? So in the next few years, it will change and it will happen. Now, however, in the sector that you're sitting in right now, in the Middle East, there's a bigger problem. In Middle East, the HR departments, they still have this requirement, this rigid requirement. You need to have certification, you need to have X, Y, or Z of experience, you need to have this, you need to have that. In some of the jobs you will see, you need to have 25 years experience in artificial intelligence. Where are you going to get 25 years of experience in artificial intelligence? In one of the jobs that I was reading, you need to have 15 years experience in AWS DevOps tools. The DevOps tools, they came in the past few years. It was not like that they were developed 15, 20 years ago. So most of these organizations, they're designing very poorly orchestrated jobs. However, the HR is getting smarter. So the LinkedIn, a tool like LinkedIn can help you, because if you learn these skills and you put them in your profile, these HR jobs, these HR professionals, they're hunting for the talent. So they're looking for the talent. And one of the primary platforms they have right now, they can be secondary and other platforms as well. But one of the biggest platforms, which has more than 800 million roughly users, almost a billion users, I would say, shy of a couple of million. You will see that these managers, these HR professionals, they are utilizing the keywords in searching for the profile. So they will look for DevOps, SecOps, cybersecurity, vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, and they're looking for these people and they're inviting them for interviews, right? So situation will change in Middle East as well, slowly and gradually. They will realize we can't find these kinds of talents because whoever is designing these or writing these job descriptions, unfortunately, they're very, I would say, ill-qualified to perform these tasks. But, what can I say? You will find people like that all over Middle East. However, like in Europe, in North America, in UK, overall in the G20 countries, with the exception of the Middle Eastern countries, you will see that they're not asking for X number Z of experience. They're asking for people who can deliver. And if you can deliver, you can secure work. You want to add something, Hamad Bhai?
Three things: knowledge, experience, and skills. Combination of this will work wherever you go. And this current era, if you have done some qualification, some degree that actually gives you the ability to think through, you have the skills to do something, and you have the knowledge to do something, perform a task. If you can perform a task, you will get a job. This is how things work in the Western world. They're not looking. Nobody has ever looked at my degree. I did an economics degree, but nobody ever looked at my degree, ever. So it's your ability to perform something which will actually get you the job.
That is correct. Yes, I mean he summed it up in a very easier fashion. Jazakallah khair, Hamad. But yes, Zain. Go ahead, Zain. What is your question?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
Sir,
Yeah.
first of all, I would like to ask Sir Hamad about remote jobs and how can we target the remote jobs which are offered, and is there any certain criteria which is different for remote jobs and on-site jobs? And is there any difference in applying for remote jobs and on-site jobs?
I can take a stab, and then do you want me to take the stab, or do you want to take this first stab?
You go ahead first.
Okay, so one of the things that has been, the definition of freelancing and the definition of remote jobs versus full-time jobs, what is a different, definition? There are some specific freelancers in the Asian countries, and they have played with this word so much that they have muddied the definition, right? Look,
Of course.
in the emerging technologies, there are two things you have to realize first: graphic designing, search engine optimization, building a website. This is called freelancing work, right? This is called freelancing work. However, when you work in the emerging technologies, like working as a cybersecurity analyst, or as a SOC analyst, or as a data scientist, or as a DevOps guy, or as a SecOps guy, or AI guy, or big data, these are contractual jobs. No one is going to give you a task in terms of how. Well, in the middle of these things, you will also find some people who don't know how to do their own work, but they go on these big titles, and they might say, "I'm a PhD in data science. I'm a PhD in AI, and I want to work in your organization." People will hire them, but at the back end, they are using these pseudo, I would say, ghost AI professionals to get their work done, right? So you will find these people. They are good in terms of making good videos on YouTube and stuff like that. But when it comes to working within the industry, they don't know how to work that. So the first thing that you need to understand is just like in the emerging technologies, you have two options. You can work remotely, right? You can work remotely as a DevOps guy. You can work remotely as a public blockchain or a private blockchain person. You can work remotely as a SOC analyst. You can work remotely as a data scientist. Remotely means working from home or working within your own country for an international organization. They might open a satellite office and they might say, you work from home, set up your own office. We will pay you a salary in your own country as per the wage, minimum wage, like 100,000 rupees or 100,000, whatever the case is, whatever the currency is denominated. They're not going to pay you as per, if they pay a cybersecurity analyst $75,000, $80,000 per annum, they are not going to pay you $75,000, $80,000 per annum in Pakistan, India, or Bangladesh, or any of these countries, right? They're not going to pay you. They're going to pay you a good wage as per your own country economics, GDP factors, and there are multiple factors that take into consideration, right? Inflation rate and stuff like that. So they do that. Since there is a global talent shortage, they are hiring people left and right. And many of these people are working from home, through their own satellite offices or through their own satellite offices in a company where they're working for a remote organization, right? So they're doing that. So one of the things that you have to realize is that it depends. Now, if they're not able to find the talent, they will get you outside. So I can give you an example. Recently, one of the trainers who teaches on our platform, private blockchain, he got a job in Malta, and they're paying him a very handsome salary in euros, right? A six-figure salary in euros. So you can imagine, many of my students have been able to get this mobility, this global mobility from studying the tracks. So it depends. Now, the other factor that you have to understand is which is the most important thing is, YouTube is designed for entertainment. YouTube is not an educational platform. You can listen to music, you can listen to songs, you can watch TV dramas and shows, but you won't be able to learn anything from it. You can watch motivational videos, which are totally rubbish, by the way, totally useless. People will, because all of those things that you're watching, you are wasting your time, and those guys are earning through basically running these different adverts. I mean, this is all what is happening, right? For every 1,000 views, they get $1 or something like that, right? So they're earning that, and you are just wasting your time. You are giving them your time, your precious commodity, and they are earning it from it, right? So you can never learn anything from YouTube per se, right? If someone tells me I was able to secure a job by studying at YouTube, I really would like to listen to him. Like how, were you just watching videos? No, you need to have the hands-on skills. You need to get the training. You need to work in an ecosystem so that you go through all the systems and applications. You understand how things are really done. Then you will be able to do so, because YouTube is just like a market, just like a fish market. If you go there, you will find someone is selling red snapper, someone is selling salmon, someone is selling, catfish. You will find these different players selling these different fishes, right? So you have to understand the key. You have to understand that these different differences before you can make a decision what you need to do. Hamad, you can take a stab at this.
Thank you. So I will start where you ended, which is YouTube. And there was a question that I asked on our page at Al-Nafi and the group also. What is structured learning? Structured learning is what Al-Nafi is giving, or what universities teach, or what you learn when you do a certification. Structured learning means that you start from a point and graduate yourself to become an expert, a fully knowledgeable person. This is structured learning. YouTube cannot give you structured learning, and that's the failure, right, on part of YouTube. But you rightly said YouTube was never meant for this kind of learning. I mean, I learned small things. So how do you eat using a fork and a knife is something that you can learn on YouTube, but you cannot learn technology on YouTube. You need structured learning, and people recognize people who actually know what technology is. That's one thing. Remote jobs. Several countries would require you to be a work authorized person before anybody could offer you a job opportunity. That's the reality, and you have to embrace it. That's why once you complete your certification, your CAT, and you go to UK, or you go to Canada or any other country, as a student even, you have that work authorization, because most of the countries are now offering students to work because they need the labor force and they need qualified labor force. So that is the route you should look at. Remote opportunities, and you rightly described it, Fazbhai, is there is a difference between working as a freelancer and working as a full-time remote worker. If you are doing something maybe on Upwork, that small contract can be translated into a long-term contract, and that could be a remote job. But ultimately, if you want to position yourself, you have to, again, look at these three aspects: your knowledge, skills, and experience. Build it up, then present yourself out there. A lot of students who cannot speak English properly will need to work on their English before they will be able to find those opportunities. Some of them will still be accepted, because if they're very good in technology, then the language skills will even the basic level of language skills will be accepted. So you have to weigh everything. Remote jobs are available, but you have to be prepared for those remote jobs. Just by applying for those jobs will not get you the jobs. To get skills, knowledge, and experience, and then go for remote jobs.
Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. Abdul Basit, do we have Abdul Basit here? Is Abdul Basit here? Were you able to gather any further questions? Is Buffer from Ghana, is he here? Abdul Basit, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Hello. Yes.
Yes. Good evening, sir. I'm speaking from Ghana. I'm Afro. Sir, I'm very sorry to put in this question. Actually, it's not related to what you are learning. Please, I beg you. I'm being frustrated. I've paid my second month's cut, and I paid it on the 13th of March. And up to now, I've not been getting access to it. I'm getting frustrated. I saw the mail that I wrote to you, and then you replied that they should give me the access. In that mail, you gave me your number that I should call you, whether they give it to me or they didn't. But I hesitated a little bit because I didn't want to call you to look as if I'm reporting the
No, it's
support
okay.
team or
Brother
something.
Buffer, listen to me. Listen to me. When you were having problems, I in the email thread, I informed them because you were studying on Khard al-Hasana, right? So I informed them to give you access, and they confirmed that you have the access. Now you're telling me you don't have the access.
Yes, sir.
Why you responded to the email? Because they said like this ticket is closed. We have given him the access. Why didn't you respond back over there?
No,
So let me do
no,
this.
sir.
Let's listen, brother. Listen. So what I'm going to do now is after this call, because we are finishing the session. After this call,
Okay.
call me directly on WhatsApp. I'm going to tag in the guy to help you there and then. And I'm going to ask him because he informed me because your ticket came to me because you were studying on the Qard al-Hasana. I informed him like this needs to be done and he needs to have complete access for this given month and additional access as well. And I asked him to give you Ghanima access as well for the labs as well, right? So
Yes,
yes, you remember that, and I wrote you my number as well. It's call me back. So you can always call me and say this is Buffer
yes,
from Ghana, and I need assistance
yes,
because they told me
yes.
the ticket is closed. They have given you the access. Now, if you're having problems in terms of logging, that is a separate issue, right? Then I
No,
can
Ganima,
to assist you.
for Ganima, I have the access now. I don't have any issue. I have Ganima, I have the
Okay, that's good.
vulnerability assessment.
You have the Ghanima
But
access.
for,
It's something that we
yes,
given on the fifth month. But I've already given you because since you were going through the trouble, I said give them complete access for Ghanima, for the 1 month so that their problem is solved. So call me
yes.
back after this session is over, and then I will listen to you and then I will resolve your issue. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Hamad Bhai, we can finish this session for today, inshallah. So let's finish this, inshallah, and then let's converse on the call to figure out and if we can do most of these sessions. We have Ata Bari. Do you have any question, Ata Bari?
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. Yes.
Sir, I would like to know that uh, the videos that are being that I'm following on in the CAT. Basically, it is all about I mean the initial part, the RHL part. Right now, I'm doing the RHL videos. So I just want to know. Is it because they are following they are they are following the OS of CentOS for Linux, but is it okay if we use some other OS for it?
Any of these distros, like there are a couple of distros out there. The Red Hat utilizes CentOS, right? The CentOS is based on Red Hat, right?
Yeah.
That is their open source fork project. They are finishing the CentOS. CentOS will not be supported, I believe, in the next few years, something like that. They are phasing it out. They might phase out by the end of this year, next year, something like that. I can't remember from the top of my head. But Debian is out there. People will start using Debian more. Open source community is a big community. Red Hat they always had this open source project of CentOS running on the side. But when they were bought by IBM started to monopolize this, right? And they have all the right to do so because they paid a lot of money for it. So now it's time for them to make something out of it. So if you practice this on Debian or CentOS, there are subtle differences, but essentially it's the same thing. So you won't find like any of the Linux guys, they need to learn and understand all the major distros. So understanding Debian, Fedora, CentOS, Red Hat, these are the 4 key ones that you should know, right? And they all work in a similar fashion. So it doesn't matter which one you're using. I mean, you can use, the commands might change a little bit. There might be there are subtle differences, right? But at the end of the day, it's the same thing because they are all running through the Linux operating system, which is the open source, right? So my recommendation to you would be, if you want to learn, try to get your hands on with as many distros as possible and try to learn the differences, right?
Sir,
That will
sir,
give
one, yeah, sure, sir. Sir, one question which is very important for me, because CAD is a very broad course. Like there is cybersecurity. There are other. I haven't gone through other study areas, but for cybersecurity, because I want to further progress my career in cybersecurity. So which aspects or which parts of the CAD should I focus more on?
So one of the key things you have to understand is, which is very important, is since this is your last question, I'm going to then to finish it up. So let's do some research, right? Let's do some research and understand, because Shamir Amer, one of the world's best, known as one of the best world bug bounty hunters. His contract is almost finalized, so he's reviewing it. So let me see. So you said offensive security, right? So this is one of the things that it appeals to everyone. Everyone wants to become offensive security. How many jobs do you see? 217. This is in UK. UK is a big economy. We say pen testing. How many jobs do you see? 24. Right? So there are only 24 jobs for penetration testers. Never go in terms of becoming a pen tester. I've been in the industry for 22 plus years. Right? I've seen penetration. Those people who focus on just pen testing or threat hunting or something like that, they're always out of work. So don't do that. Now, on the contrary, what you're learning in CAT is, like plethora of skills, right? So there's a lot of skills that you're learning, right? So let me show you something. Like you're learning cloud, because Kazem will be sitting with you. Your trainer will be sitting with you from this coming Saturday and Sunday, 9th and 10th. He will be sitting live to answer questions, right? There are more on the Ghanima labs now. There are more than 200 labs that you can potentially do, covering VA, vulnerability assessment, web application pen testing, network pen testing, WSTG, web security testing guide, threat hunting. All of these things are available now, right? So you can do those. Are you studying on annual or monthly?
Sir, annual.
Annual, right? So we did the search for pen tester. The results came out very dismal, right? 24. So we search in cloud security. The result came out to 14,556, right? We type in blockchain, right? Blockchain is the hottest one right now because their jobs are building up very, very fast. 1,852, right? Blockchain and security. You type in DevOps, there are 9,000, right? So you type in basically Linux, right? This is one of the things that you're learning for virtualization and sysops. Sysops is another track that is coming up, 11,000, right? So keep your skills diversified. You type in cybersecurity, right? You type in cybersecurity. You see more than 2,528 jobs. This is just one job portal. You can look into any of the job portal. Like for example, look, graduate apprentice analyst, cybersecurity, Durham University, right? Intern working student information security, right? You can see London, Data Guard. Cybersecurity analyst, 25 to 28,000. If you go there, complete your master's or bachelor's program, you can easily apply for a job and you can easily secure a starting job. In my view, a good job after completing your CAD career advancement track with blockchain, you can easily land to 45 to 50,000 pounds. That is your worth, right? This is what you can earn. You type in data science, right? Because you're also learning in data science as well. Because remember, all of these technologies, they work in cahoot with each other. They support the structure of the CAT. So CAT essentially teaches you how things happen in the industry. And if you want to work in the industry, you need to learn these things. But if you want to work on the next level, then utilize all the remaining technologies that I showed you, right? So this is what the CAT is. CAT is nothing but essentially the main core, the main focus, right? So this is what the CAT is, essentially. It focuses on all the key areas, right? It focuses on all the key areas that you can talk about, right? So through CAT, you can, if you study CAT, infuse it with data science or big data or DevOps or cyber defense or offensive or digital forensics. You can go into AI, IT, GRC, SysOps, IoT, blockchain, any of these things, right? So my view, my recommendation, if you ask me, I will ask people to study CAT with blockchain, public blockchain, then private blockchain, DevOps. These 4 tracks are enough for you to secure a 50,000 pounds job, like in UK, a 75,000 euro job in EU, or basically in North America, $100,000 job in North America, like in the States, or in Canada, $120,000 to $125,000 job over here, right? And all through studying CAT with DevOps and blockchain, right? It can be public blockchain, and then it has to be private blockchain, because you need to complete the circle, because every organization is infusing these technologies. And then later on, you can go into IoT, augmented reality, other areas as well, right? Because there's a lot of hype. I mean, people create a lot of hype. This is demanding, that is demanding. But if you type in AR, right, or VR, virtual reality, right? I mean, how many jobs will you see? This is where like everyone is talking about metaverse, 1,000 jobs, right? Now, if you talk about augmented reality, right, you will again see 630 jobs. But this is almost like for robotic transformation and stuff like that, right? So my recommendation to you is focus on these 5 key areas. Career advancement track will teach you all the key university, all the key industries, and then you can infuse it with public blockchain, private blockchain, DevOps, and this opens all the key doors for you in terms of moving forward. And if you want to go forward, then data science and stuff like that. That is the way forward. That's the best way forward in terms of securing an opportunity, both locally and internationally as well. Okay.
Sir,
okay. Does that feel fair? Yes.
Sir, one last thing, the labs of Ghanima and the course, is it being updated? Because by the time I reach the labs, I believe it will be maybe 3 months, or I don't know, because I haven't done the labs yet. So I don't, the things are changing very rapidly. So is the course like being up? Is it like dynamic? Is it getting updated?
The courses are dynamic. The labs are very dynamic. We have completed more than 100 labs of WSTG alone. The web security testing guide, those are available, right? But there are new. Just yesterday, I was sitting in this, because we have these lab hurdles in terms of like where we discuss all the labs creation and stuff like that. And the new labs that we are creating are on the AWS, on the Azure, cloud formation and stuff like that. But those labs, the next generation stuff is on the other advancement tracks. So the CAT will just build up the foundation, right? You can build up the foundation. You're learning VA, vulnerability assessment, more than 50 labs. You're learning web application pen testing, more than 150 labs. This combines to 200 labs, right? You're learning network pen testing, more than 50 labs. So you're already learning 250 labs. That's more than enough. Plus, you're also doing the 62443 implementation labs. Those are separate. The PCI DSS labs, those are separate, because then you have to go and connect with the network and test the network and so on and so forth. So essentially in CAT, we are handing you over, because we are releasing every week 5, 6, 10 labs, something, this like they have this drip schedule that they're releasing and dropping, right? So essentially in CAT, you are learning more than 300 plus, 400 plus labs. It's going to be almost 500 labs, right? But if you study for 3 months, you will go into the industry. When you will go into the industry, you will realize what you learned is way far ahead. You will realize that. I mean, all those people, just today, the guy who accepted 100, I'm not going to mention, but he accepted a six-figure salary in Pakistan. Wes Ahmed, he said, like, don't disclose my salary, Faisal bhai. And I have signed the contract, but I'm starting on 15th of April, right? So once I do that, then I will release my video and I will mention all of those things, right? So that's one story. Hamid Afzal is another one, right? Hafiz Hamid Afzal. There's another one like Ahmad Ali Khan. There is, one of the guys in Canada, he secured, like two of the guys in Canada secured a job. Sayyid Badal, whom I was guiding, he only studied December, January, February, March. In 4 months, he's completed, and now he's been interviewed by PwC. That is his final interview. I said, when you pass your first, second, third is nothing. You will be able to pass it, right? So if you study, we will keep on updating new content, because now we are adding a disclaimer. We can take out a lab anytime. We can add another lab anytime. This is up to us. There are in the queue, there are more than 2,500 plus labs. But those are spread over 12 different, basically 24 different, I would say, advancement tracks, right? So you can imagine every track has its own labs. And on par, every track will have some of these labs which are common, like VA, vulnerability assessment, web application pen testing, and network pen testing labs will be available in all, because it's part of the CAT. So CAT alone has more than 500 labs, almost. The remaining 2,000 labs are spread over the remaining 23 tracks. This is what we're doing, inshallah, okay? Okay, Jazakallah khair. Atif Mujib is asking, I don't understand about how CAT is a comprehensive course which teaches us various domains on an advanced level. What was I talking about this, Atif Mujib? If you cannot understand that, then you're sitting in the wrong forum, right? It doesn't make any sense what you're asking me.
I want to take a picture of the bird.
Just please give me 1 minute. Okay, Jazakallah khair for your time. I have to wrap up the session today because it has been a long session. Inshallah, we will be available in these English sessions more often. There will be more sessions happening for other speakers as well. Those will be recorded and available as well, inshallah. If you have any questions, you can always go there, ask on the stream. Stream.alnafi.com is our portal where we inform everyone what needs to be done, how needs to be done, what we're releasing, so on and so forth, inshallah. So I will see you all in the next class.